Hey, what's up guys? This is Yusuf again from my channel Cooking for Friends. My friend Stephan explained me that the dish he misses the most from when he was living in the UAE is shawarma, and he wants me to show him how to make it at home my way. Here I have 1.5 kilos of chicken breast. If you can find boneless chicken thighs, please do use them. They are juicier and tastier. Since I'm handling raw chicken, I'll be using gloves to avoid contamination. Try to fillet the chicken as thin as possible. Just place your hand flat on top and cut in parallel with a sharp knife. Because I'm using chicken breast, which tends to get dry fast, I asked my butcher for some beef or lamb fat. I will just trim it and clean it a bit, about 50 or 100 grams. For the dry spices, I'll be using paprika, black pepper, coriander seeds, smoked paprika, cumin, and some salt. Just use whatever you have on your spice rack and think will go great with your shawarma. I will add a good amount of crushed garlic and 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, a good drizzle of olive oil, and give it a good mix. For some color and a bit of acidity, I will add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, then the juice of 1 lemon. Just press the Okay, just use your other hand to strain out the lemon juice to avoid having to fish out the seeds later. Now we will add our last ingredient, plain yogurt. Mix well and let marinate for a couple of hours. In a roasting pan, I placed a big onion with 4 wooden skewers planted in it. Now just pile all the meat up in a beautiful way, while trying your best to shape it into a nice shawarma cylinder. We will see later that 1 onion is not enough for 1.5 kilos of marinated meat. Add water in the roasting pan to prevent the drippings from burning. Then transfer the shawarma very carefully to the lowest rack of a preheated oven and cook for 45 minutes. As I said before, 1 onion was not enough, so towards the half of the cooking time, my shawarma tower fell on its side, so I decided to finish cooking it horizontally on top of a rack inside the roasting pan. Personally, I like tomatoes and pickles in my sandwich, but you can use any toppings you like. Peel and dice the tomatoes, and cut the pickles in strips. I make a simple sauce with 1 crushed garlic clove, some Dijon mustard, lemon juice, and plain yogurt. Season with salt to taste. Now the fun part. After letting it cool for a while, cut it with a sharp knife in thin shawarma strips. My special way of preparing the bread is to cut it in half and then put one half inside the other. while making sure that the soft side of the first comes together with the rough side of the second. That way, if there's a leak, it will stay inside the bread. Set the toppings for your assembly line and start filling the sandwiches. Be generous with the chicken, some pickles, tomatoes, the sauce. I like my sandwich with extra sauce. Repeat with the others and be careful not to overfill them and not to let them sit for a long time. The sauce is quite runny and can make the bread soggy. Wrap tightly the sandwiches in foil to avoid leaks while greening them. I'm using here an electric grill, but you can use a hot pan over a stove to reheat the chicken and toast the bread of the sandwiches. Cut the sandwich on the diagonal for a nice looking cross section and serve with some chips. Now if you like your shawarma on a plate, layer down some open bread, serve a nice amount of chicken, garnish with shredded lettuce, tomato and pickles. Notice that I didn't use any lettuce in the sandwiches because I grilled them, and there's nothing worse than warm, wet lettuce in the sandwich. Okay guys, I hope you will try and make this shawarma at home. It's really easy and you can make it your own by using any spices, toppings or sauces you like. And thank you for watching.